if you ever think secrets disappear with time. Let me tell you about the 3 affairs that shaped American lives in ways textbooks will never mention. These weren't scandals between lovers. These were secrets between leaders, families, and entire towns. Secrets so powerful they quietly changed the direction of history itself. The story, BGNS. Most people think history changes in big, loud moments: wars, elections, protests, disasters. But those are just the surface ripples. If you dig a little deeper into the past of this country, into the places where ordinary people lived, hurt, loved, and chose silence over truth, you'll find something else. History is shaped by the secrets people carry. I didn't understand this until I began interviewing older Americans for a community oral history project years ago. What started as a simple project turned into the most emotional experience of my life. 3 stories stood out. 3 people who looked me in the eyes and said, "Don't let my story die with me." These are their stories. 3 secret affairs of the heart, the nation, and the soul that changed history in ways most people would never expect. The first story came from Mr. Oliver Shaw, a retired high school janitor from West Virginia. He was 83 when I met him, sitting on his porch, wrapped in a blanket, even though it was July. He said, "Everybody remembers the speeches, but nobody remembers the apology that could have changed America." Back in 1963, when Oliver was 21, he worked as a busboy at a hotel in Charleston. One late summer evening, a black government sedan pulled up. Inside was a young senator who would later become president all over. Wouldn't say the name, but I knew. Everyone knew the senator wasn't there for a rally, not for a fundraiser, not for political theater. He was there to meet someone privately, a woman. Her name was Miss Loretta James, civil rights organizer who had risked her life fighting segregation in the South. She had evidence of violent incidents, photographs, recordings, documents that would have shaken the country if they had been released at the time. The senator leaned toward her across a small hotel table and whispered, "Loretta, I need you to tell the truth. All of it. The country needs to hear you." But Loretta shook her head. "They'll kill me," she said quietly, "and you know they will." The senator clenched his jaw. "Then I'll speak." Loretta grabbed his hand. "No, they'll kill you too." Oliver told me he stood outside that door for 45 minutes, pretending to sweep the hallway. He heard everything. The senator promised to expose the truth after the upcoming election. Loretta promised to deliver the evidence when the time came. But before the election arrived, she disappeared. No police report, no search, no headline, no funeral, just gone. The senator, once full of fire, became quieter in his speeches afterward, more cautious, more careful about what he revealed. Oliver leaned toward me and said, with trembling hands, "America thinks history changed in the voting booths. It didn't. It changed in that tiny hotel room, when fear ripped truth out of a brave woman's hands." He wiped his eyes. "That's the affair no one talks about, the affair between truth and power." The second story came from Mrs. Eleanor Pierce, a 79-year-old woman from Kansas, cheerful, sharp, and full of humor, till she reached this chapter of her life. She said, "The whole country thinks our town survived a tornado in '74 because we rebuilt fast. But it wasn't the rebuilding that saved us. It was the secret of who stayed when they had every reason to run." Her town, Rockfield, was shattered by a massive F4 tornado. One man, Samuel Reed, an outsider working as a traveling mechanic, helped rescue more than 30 people from debris piles. He became a local hero, but that was only half the truth. Samuel had a secret. He was in love with Eleanor's mother, a married woman. Their affair had been hidden for years. The town would have destroyed her reputation, and maybe even Samuel's life if word got out. On the day of the tornado, Samuel had been planning to leave town forever, bags packed, car ready. But when he heard the sirens, He turned around. Eleanor said, "He chose saving lives instead of saving himself after the storm." Samuel wanted to confess, wanted to set things right, wanted to be honest about the love he and Eleanor's mother shared. But she told him, "Leave it buried. The town needs a hero, not a scandal." Samuel stayed one more week, then disappeared into the world. He didn't want fame. He didn't want credit. He didn't want her embarrassed. He just wanted her safe. Eleanor pressed her hand to her heart as she whispered, "Mom loved him until the day she died, and he loved her enough to walk away." She looked me dead in the eyes. It's the secret affair that saved a town. Love is powerful, but sacrifice is what changes history. The third story came from Colonel Richard Kane, a veteran from Arizona who served in Vietnam. He was stern, disciplined, and carried a weight in his voice that only comes from living through war. His story wasn't about romance. It wasn't about politics. It was about the kind of secret families bury so deep becomes part of their bloodline. He said, "Sometimes the affair isn't between people. It's between truth and loyalty." Richard grew up believing his grandfather was a war hero. The family had pictures, medals, letters, all of it. But when Richard enlisted, he discovered something buried in old military files. His grandfather had abandoned his unit, disappeared during a critical battle, and returned after the fighting ended, claiming he had been separated accidentally. The truth: he had panicked. He had run. He survived because others did. In single quotes. Richard said, "The truth shattered him. How could I serve my country?" He asked, when the man whose name I carried ran from his duty. He hated his grandfather for years until he met an old soldier who had served with the man. The old soldier told him, "He didn't run, son. He went back to save a wounded medic." They both got trapped behind enemy lines. He came back alone because the medic died in his arms. The army, trying to protect morale, buried the incident as a separation during combat. Richard stared at the old man. "So the records lied?" "No," the soldier said. "They just didn't tell the full story." That night, Richard went home and sat in his truck for hours. He realized something profound. History isn't what happened. History is what people say happened. His grandfather had lived with the label of coward, but he died with the truth hidden in silence. Richard whispered to me, "I became the soldier I am because I thought he was weak, but I stayed the soldier I am because I learned he was strong." His grandfather's secret buried for decades shaped Richard's life. Choices, leadership, and courage. That's the affair that changed him. The affair between honor and the truth that was almost erased. After hearing these 3 stories, I realized something. History isn't written in books. It's written in people. It's shaped by the truth someone was too afraid to speak, the love someone was brave enough to hide, the sacrifice someone chose to make, the secrets someone carried to protect others. The biggest events in this country weren't always loud. Some were whispers. Some were hidden meetings. Some were forbidden love. Some were mistakes buried under medals and lies. And some were just ordinary people making impossible choices in impossible moments. Every time someone whispered a truth to me, every time someone cried, remembering a moment they'd buried for decades, I felt the weight of their lives settling onto my shoulders. Okay? Realized something that has stayed with me ever since. You don't change history by being perfect. You change it by being brave. If you're still here, I want to ask you something. Do you believe secrets can shape a life? Or even a nation? Where are you listening from? Drop your country, state, or city below and tell me which story touched you the most. And if you want more emotional, experience stories like this, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. Your voice matters here. Your story matters too.